This video is about the best heroes at 7 star, which means you will need 2 copies of such hero to hit power spike. So I'm only including the good heroes that are also very rare and expensive. So for all the heroes that in this list, even they are in the lowest tier, B tier right here, you should invest in them when you had the opportunity. So let's get started. First, we have Dahlia, and Dahlia will be in S tier. I think she should be your top priority because she's really strong. So what she does is you probably already know. So as she receives buffs, she will grant herself additional buffs that increase her own max HP as well as attack. And her second passive, so that's her first passive, which make herself really tanky and with pretty high attack. But that's not good enough. With her second passive, she when she swap with another allies, that allies will copy Dahlia's buff. And okay, by the way, her first passive also allow her to swap with another ally each time she takes action. So basically, when she takes action, she will swap with an ally in the same row, and then after swapping position, she will copy her buff to the swapped ally. So since swapping only affect heroes within the same row, so if you want to share buff with another ally, you should put her and Dahlia in the same row. So most common way is to like what I'm doing right here, put Dahlia and Atropos in front line. So they will always be swapping with each other. And the reason you want to share the buff to Atropos is because Atropos' ability will grant your whole team's attack increase based on her own buffs. So the buff that Dahlia shared with Atropos will be shared to your whole team with Atropos' ability. And what's better is that that buff will also grant back to Dahlia, so making Dahlia getting double her own buff plus the buff from Atrubus, and that makes Dahlia do a lot of damage. So, but if you want to like also buff your Eudora, then maybe you can do this, like put Dahlia and Atrubus and Eudora in the back row. This will be less consistent, but it will make sure your Atrubus, Dahlia, and Eudora all have a chance to gain the buff. But the most common way is to put Dahlia and Atrubus in the front row. Yeah, so this is how to use Dahlia. Yeah, I think she will be your top priority in the in Oracle Shop because Dahlia is available at Oracle Shop. So you can also get her in Oath Recall, and and it's not wrong technically because she's pretty good. But since she's already available in Oracle Shop, it's better to save the diamonds and scrolls for other heroes that are not yet available in Oracle Temple. And actually, I think you should summon for Eudora in this banner. Yeah, by the way. So uh, she's not in this list because 7 star isn't actually a pretty good big upgrade for Eudora, but at 6 star she's pretty good, and at 8 star Eudora will hit another spike. Yeah, but I digress. So moving on, we have this hero Seraphina. So Seraphina, she will be in B tier because although her ability was pretty good when she was released, like it was one of the most broken ability, it's kind of getting power creeped. So a lot of more broken things just released. So so basically this ability is when Seraphina is alive, there's a 50% chance to like just block one instance of damage and control ability from enemies up to 3 times per round whenever allies is attacked. So basically, she just grant 3 instances of random damage and control immunity on your team. and it's random and it's only up to 3 times per round. So it's it's pretty good, but not very important in my opinion, especially now that other broken heroes starting to come to appear. Like compared to this one, where she just charm an enemy and have the enemy take damage for your team. So it's incomparable. And yeah, and also the other role of Seraphina is that she's a healer, which can be good in some instances, but she's not the most important thing, and she's not very rare. There will be like in some of the selectors in Rift Odyssey, like as well as the Food Festival. So like the Guild Challenge also grant a selector. So what I'm trying to say is like in this type of selectors, Seraphina is already in there, but Dahlia is not in there. So it would be better to prioritize Dahlia in places like Oracle Shop where she's not available elsewhere. So like in these selectors, you can choose Seraphina, and so you can save your Oracle coins to the important and rare heroes like Dahlia. Yeah. Okay, so next we have Cleopatra. So for Cleo, she's really rare. So she will be available only in the selectors of this Oath Recall. So you can't summon Cleopatra in this Oath Recall, but you can only like after you reach 100 summon, you can get one of the selectors. So Cleopatra actually gain another very powerful bonus that's like this one. So at the start of each round, Cleopatra apply 1 stack of Holy Shield to all allies. So this is pretty good. Yeah, in comparison, like her ability is much better than like Seraphina because she apply she can block 5 instances of damage in total each round. But for Seraphina, it's just 3 instances of damage and she's less consistent. Also, like her uh, active ability is way better than Seraphina, and her synergy is better because she basically has a flexible synergy. But yeah, so Cleopatra is good at 7 star because she gained uh, the Holy Shield ability. But this ability is pretty good, but not as important as Dahlia. So that's why I'm putting her in A tier. But at 8 star, Cleopatra will hit another power spike because she will unlock a flexible rune synergy. Okay, so moving on for Hades, I think I'm gonna also put him in S tier because at 7 star, Hades can gain an ability that devours an enemy and it will remove them for 4 rounds. And what's better is Hades will also gain the attack, defense, and max HP of the devoured enemies. So yeah, so Hades can remove an enemy, and he also gain more stats. So that's really powerful. And at 6 star, he's not that good in my opinion because all he does is grant the Valianter synergy made chances to execute people below 35%. And the damage reduction also doesn't really matter because it's pretty low. So like damage reduction and increasing defense like by 35 or something is usually not that great in this game because the damage is too high. Like reducing it by like a percentage amount usually doesn't do much, and you're better off using like ability that can block them, like Seraphina and Cleopatra's ability. Or speaking of survivability, I think Elmer is also in S tier, and I'd say he's better than Hades because Elmer at 7 star, I think like this is pretty famous. He will he won't die as long as another ally is alive. So yeah, so he's like unkillable until all your other units die. And but what he will also do is he will taunt enemies when he damage enemies, and he has an ultimate ability that can damage all enemies. So he can taunt all enemies. So he can taunt all enemies. So all enemies will attack him instead of your teammates. But Elmer cannot die when the other allies is alive. So you can tell this is broken. But at 6 star, I didn't include it because at 6 star he doesn't have the invulnerability, so he will die even though other ally is alive. That's at 6 star. So him only taunting the enemies won't do anything because he will die really soon. So he need at least 7 star to be really shy. So that's for Elmer. And then we have Aphrodite. So Aphrodite is pretty good at 7 star because she will have two passive ability unlock. The first one is every time a unit dies on battlefield, Aphrodite will use her ultimate, and that's her first passive. So it's pretty good at 6 star, so it will do like a chain killing effect like Themis. But since at 6 star her stats are pretty low, and like her ultimate is like not upgraded, so her ultimate will be only at level 1. So this won't do much. But once you get her to 7 star, she will unlock another ability that is whenever Aphrodite uses her ultimate, she will charm an enemy to your position. So it's applying Phantom Illusion to one enemy, which means like that enemies will go to your team, like we talked about last video for Empress Wu. So basically, whenever your units die, uh, Aphrodite will cast ultimate and recruit one enemies to your team. And the best thing that could happen is then the enemy kills the enemy, like the unit you steal, and then Aphrodite gets to steal another enemy and repeat over and over again. That would be the ideal scenario, but it doesn't always happen like that. But when it happens, it's really broken. And unfortunately, if the enemy is stealed by Aphrodite, like Empress Wu's ability won't apply. So this ability, like the charmed enemy will take damage for your whole team. It only apply when Empress Wu when she's the one that's applying the charm, whether it's with her ultimate or her exclusive room effect. But if it's charmed by Aphrodite, it doesn't work. Like she won't take damage for your team, and it's pretty fair because if like if they work together, that would be really broken. So that's Aphrodite. So she's pretty good, but surprisingly not as essential as the other characters. You know what? I think she's at the same level as Hades, but I'm actually gonna put Hades down a tier instead of upgrading, like moving her up, because yeah, I don't think they're as impactful as Dahlia and Elmer, although they're really broken. So like it's so they're more like a bonus unit that's really good in PvP, but in PvE, like they're not gonna help you push through a lot of stages. Yeah. Okay, so next we have Gaia. So Gaia's first ability and second ability are separate. That's why she's really good at 6 star because she increase your whole team's damage. And at 7 star, she unlocked another ability that's also really good. So she actually gets to power spike twice, one at 6 star and again at 7 star. So at 7 star, she gets to reduce the enemy's speed by 30. So basically, that means your teams will take action before the enemy teams because 30 is a lot. Like even the fastest unit, like Empress Wu, like if her speed is reduced by 30, then like your Navi will be have the same speed as her. So yeah. So like so she's really good. Gaia is really good at 7 star. So and next we have Wukong. So Wukong, I don't like these heroes to be honest. So I think he's pretty weak because he doesn't solve any problems. So what he does is whenever like an ally kills an enemies, like he will swap with an ally and grant both of them holy shield. Like both him and the ally he swapped with will gain holy shield, and then he will also like do basic attack, and the basic attack will increase as like so the basic attack will turn into a multi-instance damage as well. So like yeah. Oh, I just realized his ability is pretty complicated, and yeah, and also his basic attack also have the ability to dispel buffs from enemies. So these are all pretty good, but the problem is Wukong need you to start killing enemies first. So so he's really good if you already have a unit that can kill enemies, and he will finish the rest off. But like himself, he's not really that strong. However, like he's also not weak. So and since he's already available in Oracle Shop, like if you want to like make your ethereal teams better, you can get him in Oracle Shop. Like and at 7 star, he's gonna be perfectly viable. Like let's say you have a like a already have a functional ethereal team, and like and if you add a 7 star Wukong in, he's gonna help you a lot. Like you don't need to like have Wukong at 11 star or something like that. Like 7 star is good enough. So okay, so next we have Althea. So this I really like this hero, but and he's and she's really good because she does two things. One is as your allies on the battlefield start to die, she will gain some of her max HP. She will gain percentage max HP as well as percentage attack. Wait. Did they remove the increasing attack part? When any unit on battlefield dies, as a guardian of through Spring of Eternal Youth, Althea increased her max HP by 50%, stack up to 30 times. Wait, did they remove her ability to increase her own attack? It's not in the patch note. Yeah, I don't know. So in the past they say she also increased her attack, but it is just removed. Yeah, anyway, but this is not the most important ability for her. Her most important ability is when Althea is deployed, the revival effect of Avenger Synergy Mate take effect immediately instead of next round. So basically, like the Avenger Synergy, they can revive, but they first turn into a little grave, and only on next round they will revive. And if all of your Avengers died in one round, and they all turn into the little grave. Like none of them get to revive, and like you will immediately lose. So that's one risk of running Avengers, and Althea can solve that. So that's why like this ability is really good. So yeah, and I don't know what happened to this ability, but if it doesn't increase her attack anymore, then she's she's a lot worse. But uh, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. And she can only be in B tier because like she's just an Avengers exclusive hero. She's not useful outside of Avengers. So yeah, and then we have uh, Arthur. So Arthur's ability is he has some bonus effect when they'll reflect damage, but I think the most important ability of him is like when Arthur is deployed, he grant all allies 25% chance to reflect debuff like to the enemy teams. Okay, back to the caster. So this ability is only 25% chance, but if you level him to 7 star, the chance will be increased to 50, and that became a number that's like worth investing. So that's why he's good at 7 star. So I think he's better than Seraphina. Yeah, maybe I can move him to 8 here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move him to 8 here. And lastly, we have Mulan. Mulan will be in S tier. So it's because he's really good in PvE, like against bosses, because of her second passive. Basically, when her second passive buff will grant an effect to your units that start the battle at the same line as Mulan. So basically, let me demonstrate this. So she will buff heroes in the same line, like in this case, she will buff Lancelot and Celine. And a pretty common pattern is to pair her with heroes that have AoE, and so Eudora is one of them, and another is Leandra. So they so she so they will apply burn to all enemies, and the burn is percentage damage. So it's damage based on the enemy's maximum health. So and up to 10 times like their own attack. I think it means like your whole team's attack. So yeah, that's why she's really good because this will help you in boss fight. And this alongside with her another ability which like grant your whole team like attack and max HP increase whenever your team is attacked by the enemies. So, but this ability alone isn't gonna help you a lot. But this plus the burn ability will make Mulan really strong. So she's in S tier. Yeah, and that's it for all the heroes that are good with 2 copies or 7 star. Thank you for watching.